Yes, I am setting.
Alright, we're audio live and I'm hitting the transition button. Good evening, gamers. You join us now again for Arcspire, as our heroes head to the scene befitting a Western movie. Indeed, it's high noon in Pyre, and Galvan and Cascare stand by the black burning eternal flame, and a group of Artuans prepare their arrows and pitch to lay waste to this town and cleanse the abomination put upon the eternal flame, because Galvan is completely unwilling to negotiate at all. And in this scene, Eleonora quickly catches back up, leaving the unconscious Pyrite behind in, a very conveniently placed bush, and finds herself stood with the whole group. All Pyrite's eyes turn to look at you, and we zoom in on the party as we give a quick overview of what happened last time, but also how you can affect events. Last time on Arcspire, the group of Marked adventured around looking for the charnel heart that a soul must be inserted into to heal or destroy the Aratu presently bleeding out into the land. They discovered two such souls. One, innate to the lower reaches of the Aratu, and another, an old man with a bountiful soul. The innate entity being a blameless soul. And now the question is simply, what's gonna go down before you guys get a soul into the hole, and what's gonna happen with the flame, because you've learned that this eternal flame right here is over the charnel heart, and has been all along. All according to Keikaku. So,
Dun, dun, dun.
with that said, we switch to some more, setting appropriate music. We don't actually. And yeah, I think that is more or less what's going down here. If you'd like to influence the going to events, there are things you should know. We have a Magic Surge bar along the left-hand side of the map. If you go down to the About Me, click Money Honey, and donate money directly, that goes up to $50. Bam, a Wild Magic Surge will happen, and wild things will go on. The money does carry over to other shows as well. It'll carry over on the bar until it pops. We have also channel points. You can give it Dangerous to go alone, and that will give it the character you name, an item, or insight in the moment. And on top of all of that, we have a bit menu for Arcspire, which you can go check out below. I think that's more or less what's happened. We join our four heroes, yeah.
May I make an interjection? I do believe you left out the most important part, or perhaps I didn't hear it.
The faction influence
We are
system.
sponsored by Fool's Moon Entertainment.
Yes, we are. Fool's Moon Entertainment.
This game is paid for by our loving sponsors.
Yeah, check them out.
Magnificent and magnanimous.
Exclamation mark, Fool's Moon.
Gaming content of their own, worthy of recognition in the Jedi archives. Or at least whatever the Arcspire has equivalent to that.
So, you all find
We
yourselves
wouldn't be here without them.
on the far side from Galvan and Cascare, and you do see that they are, Galvan is bidding everyone to drink deeply from their cups. They seem to have, they seem to be sharing a communion of well water.
Could you quick? I'm still confused. Can you go over it one more time?
All right. So what part am I losing you on?
So we were on the way back, right?
Uh-huh.
Because we recognized the well was bad.
And that it was
that's where the heart
mirroring
probably
the Pyre's
was.
Square, yeah.
Yeah. so we're on our way back, and then on our way back, we ran into some like travelers. You said
You found a pyrite who had been beaten up and swallowed up by a infrahound. They had a weird fuel cell on them that had been modified to eject and like ignite as it did a fuel of some sort. And
To be a
she-
flamethrower.
Yeah, she seemed to be on the way to a strange, recessed pool, a gash into this grotto, and within you found this great beast, and then was inquieted by your mage, and it sort of gave its soul in the form of a jet black sapphire to come and be used in this fashion. And then you took the long way around and ran into the Aratuans. The Aratuans are, I think you saw some of before, are a group of people who travel between Aratu with their various Aratu-abiding beasts. They salvage and scavenge and explore, and then they come out into places that are hard to reach from the places they've come from, because, you know, they traveled through an Aratu, and then they sell. So, they are wandering merchant caravan people, and this is one of their holy sites that they return to every year. Pyre has existed for about a year. And so basically, they threw down right after these Aratuans left last time. They returned to their sacred site and their sacred flame to find it defiled, and there's about 200 of them in total, and they're outside with arrows, and they're setting up braziers, and they look like they're ready to follow through on their threat. And also, one of them is this old man, the Bountiful Soul, who is very old and enfeebled and unable to make any more journeys, and who wants to, you know, move on to the afterlife by entering the Eternal Flame, although it is presently tainted by the Blackfire Pact.
gotcha. So they're mad that the pirates are basically tainting it.
The
I
pirates
understand
have tainted
now.
it, yeah.
I was confused why they were that upset with each other. Now I understand.
Cool. As we come in, you guys, tell me just briefly, where are you looking? What are you thinking? What are you doing as you see the pyrites sipping out of these like bowls and cups? You could even roll me a whiz notice to get a good glimpse at some of the liquid.
Time for liquid looking.
If you would look elsewhere, do feel free to inform me. Right now, your backs are to the doors of the prayer house.
Oh, wait, the warehouse. I want to look at the
Prayer
warehouse.
house.
Prayer.
Oh. There, wait, so, oh, no. I still want to look in the prayer house. Isn't that where they're keeping one of the prisoners?
Sure. So you look directly at the prayer house.
Well, I just kind of give it a glance back. I don't want to see. I don't want us to get flanked either.
All right. So,
Yeah, let me drop whiz notice.
Eleonora, you think
here.
you might see a faint silver glint in some of the liquid, and a bit of a recognition as if though they're just taking a stiff drink in the eyes of the pyrites.
Nothing.
Yeah,
Cass, you look behind you too quickly to
Probably
see
bad.
something that you would have seen if you
Definitely.
just said the words, I looked sort of right at the doors of the prayer house.
Okay.
But Vivienne, you take it all in. You see that this is indeed more tainted water from the well, and you see their bodies reacting as if though in a stupor or a primed hypnotic state. And you feel the hairs on the back of your neck stand up. You look around with your two perfect alabaster skin sort of like beginning to not crack, but show wear, and you see a familiarly clad figure peeking their head out of the prayer house door. And when they see you are here, they book it inside.
So Eleonora just gonna immediately be like, no, please, stop, please don't drink that, and she's gonna like try to run over and just try to stop people from drinking.
Amazing. You're like up on some people. There's like one person who's like been kind of like hesitating a little bit, kind of looking around like, we're all drinking the Kool-Aid, right? And you come right up on him saying that, and he's like, oh shit. And like the people around like turn like a foul gaze. He's like, he's holding it. He's not drinking. He's like, but and Galvan says, this interloper seeks to interfere with the communion. Cascare! And Cascare kind of like hefts his blade and says, you should have stayed out of this, mon chéri. And It's feeling.
Have you drunk the water too, Cascare?
And Cascare looks at you, looks at Galvan and said, "We were going to drink it last." And
Don't do it.
Galvan doesn't look back at Cascare. Cascare is looking at Galvan, a man who he's trusted and followed for many years. He's looking for some sort of a response or a look back. And he's coming up empty.
Eleanor will take out the basically block of like metal she pulled from the person's throat at the pond originally, and she's like, please, you must understand. This is what'll happen in your throat if you drink it. It's very bad for you. It's gonna be very dangerous. Please just stop. If you've taken a sip, please come here and I'll try to help you. I have a little bit of an antidote.
When Galvan sees you've done that shit, Galvan is like walking towards you. He has a black gloved hand on, and in it you see, after a bit of almost like a spurt of something hops up into his hand, black flame dancing there in the palm of his hand. He walks forward to the far side of the pool and says, "Interloper, you would dare come here and interfere with my flock?" And he's holding it up as if though he's about to like pitch straight from the mound for the fucking umpire with that black flame in hand.
Please, everybody, you must understand. It's very dangerous for you. I'm sure you didn't mean anything by it, sir. It's perfectly fine, but it's very dangerous, and I think you might not know the ramifications of what'll happen if you drink it. Please.
Yeah.
I would like to saunter into the center of this I would like to saunter forward, my hand very clearly on my sword, and say, that man is no longer Galvan. Or it's Galvan, right?
Galvan, yeah, is his name.
Yeah,
That man is no longer Galvan. Galvan is dead, and so will you be if you drink this tainted well water. He will turn you into mindless drones. He may well be one himself already.
Cascare steps forward and says, "What proof do you have of this accusation?"
We've seen it before on the other side. On the other side of the Eratu. There is an identical clearing to this one with an identical well filled with tainted water.
Cascare looks at you like
metal water.
Astounded,
silver.
Uncertain, looks at like some of the lips of the pirates around him as if they're searching for it, looks at Galvan and says, "Galvan, tell me this is a lie." And Galvan's got the fire in hand, right? He's got it stanced up. And then the person who's looking back at Eleonora, their eyes go wide. They drop the cup, and they drop to their fucking knees, and make a sign of, like, prayer or begging at something behind you, behind the party, coming from the direction of, like, the intersection between the prayer house and this building.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Behind the prayer house?
I mean, I turn and look.
Yeah.
Question mark?
Turn and look. Hey, look!
Yeah.
It's Galvan!
What? The sequel?
Galvan steps forward, flares his completely unadorned arms, and it less than the palm, but almost more like radiating from his whole hand, as if there were a web around his fingers. You see black fire licking, dancing intently. Roll me a whiz magic, anyone who would care to examine it.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I don't even think
Vivian
that's
stretches her
yet.
magic senses out and tries to get Renerick between her and the second Galvan.
Eleonora, you seek for a logical explanation for what's happening here, and you come up nil.
Heck.
Whiz magic, correct?
Correct. Renerick and Vivian, you also failed to develop a working theory of what the fuck is going on here. But Galvan says, "A false shepherd has come amongst you. I have been departed 3 weeks. I was abducted by cultists." And everyone's like, huh? And then Galvan shouts, "Drop!" And every single pyrite who drank falls over limp, tongues lagging out of their mouths, eyes, their pupils dilate, almost turning to spirals.
Wait, I have a question
That's
really
not
quick.
good.
Oof.
What Cass was saying about like drones, is that true, or are you just making that up?
No. We definitely saw.
We did actually
drones
find that? Okay.
people on the other side.
Well, the cultists. You found the cultists.
Oh yeah, cultists. But they also had their eyes kind of silvered over.
They had weird things in their eye, but yeah. So the person who like you just saved, Eleonora, like runs them between between you and the people in back, and like, oh my goodness, save you, Galvan! And Galvan just sort of saunters forward and says, "Fire sense, this is none of your affair. I, Galvan, shall set right this. Cascare, seize the imposter." And then Galvan turns to Cascare and says, "Galvan, seize the imposter!" And Cascare looks between the two of them, and he's got a sword out, and he looks like, huh? And, yeah, you guys do, by the way, hear a loud slamming of something going on inside the prayer house. How would you all respond to the enveloping commotion?
All right, first off, Cascare has got to be an idiot if he doesn't know which one's more likely to be the imposter. My personal running theory is that they're both imposters, and we need to kill them both. But
I
don't
think
really
one is
know
an
if that's
imposter,
necessarily canon.
one is an imposter, and one is just a bad person.
That's my theory.
Yes.
I mean,
I agree there.
correct. I mean,
One is
The
an
person,
imposter.
the
and one's
person
not.
trying to cast black fire spells needs to be stopped from
They're
casting black
both
fire
trying
spells.
to cast black fire spells is the problem.
My point stands.
I mean, yeah, true. Yeah, that's fair.
yeah, so,
Yeah,
yeah,
you're wrong.
Galvan has his...
Which one?
So-
Please put Galvan and Galvan Prime or something, like, please. I can't handle it.
So,
about, like,
So the Northern Galvan
Galvan,
has
Sapphire,
the
and
pitched
Galvan Ruby.
up, like, fire ready to toss, and is now aiming for Cass. Cascare has his sword in a position that looks like a guard, but it almost looks like he's ready to twist and hit the Galvan next to him at the drop of a fucking hat. And the Galvan behind throws up his hands, and you see a dazzling ray of little black lightning dance up into the sky, taint the clouds above, and a shadow emerges over it all, a still strangeness to the wind, a feeling of a quickening here in this place. And suddenly, a beam descends. As you gaze upon and most true and foul art of thy Blackfire Pact.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
And
What does that look like?
he just straight up.
Oh boy.
And bear in mind, this is 15 squares, 15 feet squares, so Galvan is safe. A 10-foot circle descends upon this Galvan and deals. Well, you know, Galvan's gonna get to try and evade the attack made by Galvan. Galvan
Nope.
doesn't dodge Galvan. Takes 7 fire damage, and something really wacky, a little loose, a little interesting happens. Eleonora, you've studied several times what happens when you introduce fire to a certain silvery liquid, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I was thinking that.
Craziest thing happening here right now. His body looks like it's become more brittle, easier to break, and as if those certain features of his dermis aren't working, and it's almost like he's a wax sculpture, Galvan. And upon seeing that feat be performed by who he can only assume is truly the man to whom he has devoted his new life after the fall of Charnay, Cascare the Forlorn Chevalier goes to swing his fucking greatsword, and he gives a cry as like something behind him kind of like pricks him, and he's taken some sort of damage from something. Like green smoke flies up from like under his armor. He's like trying to pat around at himself to figure out what the fuck is happening. And Galvan, hold on. Yeah, I've got a name for you, Rainbow. You're gonna love it.
What about galvanized?
No,
Just like
Gallium
Galvant.
ce n'est pas un
Oh,
galvan.
ha ha ha. That's
Just make it that.
Clever.
Galvant. That's good.
Galvant.
That's good.
Galvant. Galvant goes for Galvant says in a voice that sounds more like if a pipe organ smoked a pack a day. Notes. You have outlived your purpose, foolish disciple of a false religion. And that Galvant is almost like giving up any semblance of humanity. As it even says, it turns to Eleonora and says, I am throwing away my humanity. And, shit's fucked, and you hear a sound as, someone steps out from here, and, SpaghettiOs. There's a dude here, and you know what else there is? Initiative. As Galvant tosses the Blackfire toss for... Cass. With disadvantage with the long range, he hits the ground. By the way, as you see up his sleeve, he's got a canister. He has a few, like, up under his arm, and he's wearing black gloves, like, all the way down to his elbows. Galvan Prime
And I still have one of those
arms.
canisters, right?
Yes, you do that, or it might be on.
Someone else might have it.
Renric might be holding it. Renric might be holding it.
Yeah, I have it.
Okay, that's fine. Just wondering.
So, I'm gonna pop Viv and Renric onto the map at the Spire Scent location.
Oh, not fast.
Oh, right. Sorry, I gotta roll initiative. Dirt. Oh, I'm not last.
Okay, so initiative of 6.
All right. I hope
Can you fix my initiative, Lee?
Sure. What should your initiative be?
6.
Roger. And actually, I think you also have permission to alter your own. Yeah. Okay. You just did. Oh, yeah. I'll just redescend it, and then you'll be good. Awesome. Galvan goes first, and he points accusatorially, and he says, "Fool! You would dare come to the home of the Blackfire Pact? Gaze upon its glory." And you see Galvan, like, at first, like, smoke picks up from around his feet, like a helicopter's backblast, but then it takes on a tenor, a flame, a dancing black licorice wave, as it becomes a black fire ringing his form. And he looks like he's stanced up. Pat, did you have to refresh?
Am I not here?
You are. It's just I have to fix the cams now.
No.
You disappeared for a second.
Sorry about that.
Oh, good. So that's Galvan's turn, and Galvan also moves, pretend that you can move twice. You do move twice, it's 30 feet. Galvan steps forward. Galvant, meanwhile, snaps his fingers. Galvant snaps his fingers with a metallic clang and issues a single command. Roll. And, that's a little unfortunate. The people who fell over earlier?
Most of them?
Uh-huh. Yeah, you know how they were on the ground immobile there for a moment? Guess what they're doing?
Upsy doopsy.
I would assume they're rising.
Yeah.
Can we kill them without conscience? They're dead,
No,
right?
no,
They're
don't
not
kill them.
coming back.
They look pretty alive to you.
On the bigger thing.
I would just consider them mind controlled.
You have a shield for a reason, Cass. Use it.
Okay,
Fine, I guess.
Oh, okay.
fine.
Is that his
I'm
whole turn?
trying to minimize civilian casualties.
That
Hard to rule someone if they're dead.
not his full turn.
I mean, you can kill people if you want to. It's up to you.
He is going to retreat. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, you know, make whatever course of action you want. He is going to move 30 feet towards the the steps. Renerick Carver, it is your turn. Shit is seeming little fucky wucky, as it were.
Just a little bit.
Just a little fucky wucky.
I think Ren would have turned his attention to these guys at the prayer house.
Yeah, so the doppelganger is poking its
So
head
there's
out.
only one person there now?
There's only one person, although there seem to be more people behind who are kind of like cowering and unsure of what's going on. And they look out and they're like, huh? But like, this person is sort of like, obscuring the view. Hey, real life unicorn. Yeah, the queen is coming in fire with that outfit, isn't she?
True. Pat is basically just a cosplayer at this point.
Correct?
So great. I love it.
Yeah, it does look great. So I would basically go and confront the doppelganger, be like, "What have you done?"
When you look at the
and-
doppelganger's eye, you see a view that looks very familiar to you. You look at this guy's face, and it's a very familiar face, and you place it pretty quickly, Renrick. This is the exact face and dermis, not just clothing, but the exact face and body of the corpse you found by Stillwater. And
What the
it
hell
gives
have
you a
you done?
steely gaze in return. And it seems as if though he's going to step forward to give you a little physical communication in response to that.
I would have had my staff at the ready.
All right, so you got your staff ready. Are you gonna give him a bonk, or are you just gonna ready to bonk when he moves to bonking range?
If he is not currently in range, I will ready a bonk.
Yeah, there should be an exclamation mark Arcspire by now. There's a document. If you check the Discord, Real Life Unicorn, there's some explanation of the different factions, and you can give influence to alcohol. Okay, so you're ready to bonk when he comes in?
Yeah.
All right, Cass, it is your turn. What do you want to do?
First off, I want to say to Real Life Unicorn, I'm a reclaimer, so if you want to give me money, I'm just kidding. Influence points don't work that way, but basically it does improve factional reputation. My character does not say, as she instead charges. So Lee, I want to ask you a question about scale here. Earlier you mentioned that you would permit a charge action. I believe it's in the book too. It's not just you making this up. Is scale accurate or is scale...
This is scale accurate. This is a 15-foot map. So here's the problem.
No!
Plus 10 to the...
Plus 10 to reclaimers.
The reclaimers.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, Pat.
yeah.
It seems like you're
It's
ready to do
literally
some
not
reclaiming.
fair, dude. It's just not fair.
You gotta up the production value. The Guardians gotta get their game on.
Pat is literally too OP.
All right. So Cass, you can get. So normally your charge wouldn't take you all the way up to Galvant because you need to close in on him to bonk. But I'm going to give you a strength exert to just charge in and just absolutely wail on this man's right now.
Yeah, you got it, Captain. All right.
Claim these nuts, bitch.
Yup.
All right. I'm gonna get too cocky. This is gonna fucking fail. Oh, that's not good.
So you charge.
Okay.
You charge and you get. What you wind up doing is double action tapping to move. You wind up 15 feet away.
Bummer.
But hey, you're charging. You're charging. You're
I
gonna
already
get
have
there.
my sword.
Sword
My
out.
sword in one hand, and I guess I just raise my shield now. Probably can't take a defensive action. I think I'm
No, you've
I think
dashed.
I think I'm fully tapped.
Eleonora.
Yeah. So does Galvan Prime look like he's gonna hurt us or no?
You know what?
Does it look
Galvan
like
is a
he
very
wants to
hard man
fight?
to read, but I have received a dangerous to go alone for. Oh, that's for Viv. Okay, Eleonora. Yeah, Eleonora, you don't think that? I mean, you give me a. I mean, he looks like he's here to fuck up Galvant and to reassert his position as the rightful leader
Fair
of this
enough. I'm gonna try something a little wacky.
A little wacky?
A little wacky.
Little goofy?
Run over these little pirates over here. Can I just try to make them drink the base that I have? Will that do anything? I don't know.
I think the base is for the acidic swamp creatures. I'm not sure how.
Yeah,
it
but
would
isn't
react
that what
to
they
the-
just drank? Didn't they just
No,
drink?
I think they
like,
drank the
acidic goop?
mirror. The mirror.
I thought they
metal
drank
liquid.
both. Did they? Okay.
I don't know.
You
But-
can.
I thought
you can go for it.
I thought the black
More
goop
research.
was what was making them like a little crazy, right? That's
So I
that's what's brainwashing them.
I think the black is the oil.
It's actually
red
the
is
liquid from the
acid,
mirror lake that we came to in the very first episode. Before we
Yeah,
got
Nora-
done.
The silver.
Yeah, that's what
Okay.
we noticed.
Eleonora, you want to go forward with this?
No.
You want to give me an int
Because-
heal to consider what Eleonora knows.
Okay, that's a better idea. Yeah. Cause yeah, I don't think she would just randomly like try to force someone to drink something without knowing the effects of what it would happen to them. But
She's such a caring
Okay,
person.
so you have an initial theory. That well up to the north had to be tapping something, right? It was clearly being changed, and so is this. But you wonder about its composition. Now, in the last episode, we learned that there is a the acid is like all up top in the infrarush ash. Thank you for the sub. And it sort of like filters down to below, and everything there has evolved to withstand it. But it has not evolved to resist a significant alkaline force, and because of its nature, though, like those things don't penetrate below the surface. So you do think that if there is a relationship between the silver liquid and the black goop of the infrarush, even a distant one, force-feeding alkaline down their throats is likely... It's not going to kill them in the amount that you're going to give them. It's not going to be pleasant either. You might knock them out, but it should at least interfere.
yeah.
You're not sure what the interference will look like, but you think it'll happen.
Giving
I
them a
wonder if I-
purgative probably would help too.
Yeah, but I don't think I have one of those.
The base might
Make them
actually
throw up.
might
Punch
function
him
as
in
that.
Yeah, it might hurt them a lot, but also be what they need, you know?
You know that this isn't
That
enough
is-
to kill.
that's-
You as a medical doctor
I'm
know that this isn't enough to kill them.
positive.
It's not enough
Positive
to kill
it's not gonna kill them. Okay, then I'll do it.
Yeah, because like
Then I'll
bases
do
are
it.
like
Then I'll do it.
soaps and
Alright.
stuff, so
So-
it's like if you eat a bar of soap, you're not gonna die.
You're basically
It's
like,
sick.
yeah, I mean, it's surprising Viv isn't doing this as mommy
Gonna
here,
get-
but you're
yeah,
basically
stomach
washing
ache.
their mouth out with soap. Yeah. Give me a dex heal.
Dex heal. Oh boy. Okay.
Speed healing.
Action.
Okay, yeah. So you actually
Raise
take
that line.
you like spread it between both hands, walk up between two of them, slap them in the mouth, and they like reactively choke, fall over, and begin to like froth at the mouth a little, spit up, look around, completely dazed and confused, and they like and they look up and they blink, and their pupils are the dilation is dying down. It looks like they're coming to their senses and truly seeing everything around them for the first time, and they are confused as fuck.
Yay. Did that require 2 vials of it?
It only
'Cause I
used
have
one.
4
You,
total.
you managed
Just
to
one?
split a vial and do
Okay,
it. Yeah,
cool,
Because
cool,
I was giving you a reward for rolling a 13. I didn't want to like drain your resources.
Yeah.
All right, so that's your turn. You've moved.
Dope.
You've acted.
Yeah.
All right, the doppelganger. And Viv, you do have a dangerous to go on. You can see what that is. Shout out to Veronique. This doppelganger is coming up. Renrick, you stand up with your stick. Bonk this boy. He's coming in.
Wow. Alright.
Okay. So I have some interesting news for you. Which is, could you make me a really quick evasion save?
Uh-oh.
Oh no.
Oh yeah.
Let's see.
We did not. We have not
Okay,
spec
so
sufficiently.
here's the thing.
Ooh, congratulations! Oh shit.
The doppelganger's body becomes liquid and shoots out from his shoulder to try and grab your staff. You miss after bonking off, and you realize this doppelganger has a big AC, but you think that after Galvan got galvanized, his lowered a lot, and Galvan's AC was what this dude's AC is right now, if exposed to a certain, flame. The doppelganger is procced your ready to action and now comes in with the Melopod as it turns its fist into like a metal wrecking ball and tries to just bonk you one.
Big Sandman hours.
And it misses hard, and you're not wielding a shield. Your AC is 10, right?
Yep.
Okay, he wallops you for 4 damage. But you now know the weakness. Yeah, so you're down to 2. It is Viv's turn.
Didn't he only roll 4 for his attack?
He did. I'm an idiot. You take 1 damage from the shock. My bad. Yeah.
Damn.
Okay, that's much better.
So Viv, on your turn, you get dangerous to go alone, which is you quickly realize that it's definitely you see that the doppelganger has on his back a fuel rod, fueled up with a special nozzle on the end.
That's interesting.
Special nozzle your fuel rod doesn't have. It looks like it would give it a bit of a longer spray. It seemed like the doppelganger was going in there to get it when you guys were first entering town. What do you want to do with that? And overall, get the sense that the doppelganger is very akin its nature to Galvant.
I'm going to point, and also, is this pyrite next to me I'm assuming that's not a friendly neighborhood pyrite, that's a silvered pyrite.
No,
right?
the pyrite next to you, this is the person Eleonora convinced to not drink in time.
Gotcha.
This person is praying to Galvan and crying out for mercy, and Galvan just striding forward, billowing black shield, licking around him like it's business time.
All right, so with that, I'm going to lean over to Renric and sort of point, hopefully not too conspicuously, at the thing on the back of his on his back, and then I'm going to turn and start pulling my mirror out of my pocket, and I'm going to ready a flash of that at anyone who gets a little too aggro on me, as I try and keep away from anything too dangerous. So holding a mirror flash and pointing out something on the back of the doppelganger to Renric.
All right, yeah. So Renric, if you were to make any action to act in any way upon the fuel cell you see on that person's back, pointed out by Viv, you gain a conditional +3 modifier. Veronique, thank you for the watering of the leaf and for that dangerous to go alone. And Drop Black, thank you for following. Do you have a generic following name? You can name any of these pyrites. Yes, Pat, speak.
The cams are. Oh, you fixed it.
I just saw and realized what you meant. All good, all good. I appreciate the call. But so Viv, that's your turn.
Yes, that would be my turn. I'm holding my main action, so.
All right, so these 3 pyrites approach Galvan, and Galvan looks at them with a burning gaze and just says, "Heretics, repent!" And it almost seems like it stabs through the programming, as one of them drops to their knees, and still with the dilation in their eyes, kind of cries out and says, no, I am pure. And the Blackfire Pact the flame protects. And like it almost seems like they begin to like froth at the mouth, like something inside them is trying to stop them from doing this. But their devotion to the Blackfire Pact and Galvan is just too strong. The other two, no thoughts, head empty, Guardians, +1 modifier. Excellent. You feel your influence is growing as you do some good deeds in the world. Peace, Dash. And
Thanks for coming.
yeah, they've come out. Two of the Pyrites just get in and with club and staff attempts to absolutely bonk the shit out of their deal leader. Their wooden weapons are caught aflame by his shield and burn their hands, and they fall over quite crispy in the process.
No.
So it is So, the Pyrite nearest you, Rainbow, they're gonna close in with a club. And they look like they want to bonk you one. They swing their club, and they miss terribly, and it has no shock damage, apparently. So, good on you. The rest of the mob, well, 1, 2... 1, 2. They're closing in. Except for these parts of the mob. They seem to be coming up. 7 of them get up right on Cass. An 8th is coming when Cascare stands and just feeds her his fucking bracer across her head, and she falls out cold-clocked unconscious. 0 HP from a bludgeon upside the brain. And Cascare stands and says, "For this, to come to my home, after I have outlived 1, I shall not outlive 2. I will kill you, Metal Deceiver, and string your jeweled entrails from the rock." And, he doesn't...
I knew there was some of the original Cass still in you.
Yeah.
Cascare, I mean.
Yeah, so Cascare is, Cascare has entered the match. Teams have been auto-balanced. Yeah,
To the fucking...
But before he does, they do get up on you, Cass, and this would be like 7 melee attacks. That's not how I'm going to resolve this. Make me... So, here's a question. Are you going to swing at them to keep them away, or are you just going to hold up your shield and take as much as you can?
I'm predominantly using my shield, but I will not hesitate to, fuck a bitch up.
Alright, so you take the slings and arrows of them beating on you. They can't get through. The Arcanists find their influence rise in this moment as they're like, well, maybe if we listen to him, But here's the thing. At some point, it becomes too much. You need to ward them off. Give me a skill test. Give me a stab strength skill test.
Fascinating. All right, cool. Let's do this. Finally, a use for that skill.
They could if they made a swarm attack. I think, is that Godbound or is it actually in World's Out number?
That's in World Without Number as well. Yeah.
Oh, I will remember that mechanic exists in the future. So you managed to beat them off, but in such a way that requires that you do in fact cut a bitch.
Oh wait, was it a dex or a strength?
Either or.
Okay, cool. Well, I'll take the 8.
Yeah, you do cut a woman and she goes down as too many of them bash through you. It is Galvan's turn. And Galvan, you see that there's like 6 of his former followers ahead of him. And he just billows an order and says, "Kneel and beg forgiveness." And they're all going to make a single morale on that one. And they all do. They all fucking kneel and beg.
It's a good thing none of our players are like mind readers, because if they did, they'd definitely be hearing Cass's mind right now going, "We're not going to let that one live either, right?" Right?
Wait, y'all just killing people over there? Don't do that.
Yeah, so
we haven't made up our minds yet.
Yeah, so
Fires.
Galvon walks right by them and continues his march north. Galvant, on the other hand, he is outside of melee engagement. He's 15 feet away from you. He runs up these stairs. He gets at 20 feet away though. He is gonna try and toss something at you. He tries to toss the black fire
Does he break
again.
engagement range, or did we never get there?
You're not in engagement range. He's 15 feet away.
Okay.
He tosses
Oh, wow.
a black fire toss at you. And it doesn't hit you, but there is a black fire sprouted up nearby. As the black liquid flames nearby, he runs up the stairs, he gets to the edge. Cass, it's your turn. Your engagement range with now, 5 pyrites.
Yeah. They can fuck
Sorry,
me.
6. So you're gonna let them... Are you okay? So you're gonna let them fuck you? Okay.
Yeah.
Worlds without
that,
number.
Wars.
I think swarm attacks. God damn it! I can't bring up the worlds without number PDF on this computer that I know it's on. Swarm
I will
attacks
go
just-
find it while
they-
we're waiting.
They just ignore shock, right? They
That would suck.
0.19 is. They do today. They do today. All of them together try and hit you, Cass.
Marvelous. Let's see them try.
Once per turn, you can cancel 1 shock damage, but that's not what this is. So I'm gonna give. They give a collective club, and
The
they
damage-
shit.
they bonk you for 1. They bonk you for 1.
So,
Wait, what? Okay, you know what? I'll take that. I'll take it.
I
can
have-
take a hit. One
I have
hit.
swarm attack info if people would like.
We can resolve that the next time. That might be relevant. Cass, you go 15. You go 30. You're still just a step behind. Give me a strength exert to bound up these big stone stairs, almost too large to be meant for humans, to come upon this false Galvan.
All right. Where's my insert? Boom.
You boom, boom,
Oh, yeah.
boom, boom. I want you in my
Nice.
room. Do 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 do. There's something.
I can
double
climb
boom.
stairs.
Yeah, as the Venga
Play
boy is
that one
blaring
song from
behind
Rocky.
you. Yeah. So you are up next to Galvan. Galvan is next to the black fire flame, burning there in the eternal flame. When you look at the center of it, it's like you can't even see something there. Almost like there's a void or a hole that opens into something below.
I don't want to stop you precociously while you're describing things in that eloquent way that you do. That is so delightful. But Homegirl's not looking at the fire. She has exactly one thing in her sight. That motherfucker's center of mass.
Galvant's body gleams with a metal carapace and looks at you, and he sort of hisses, and with a metallic sheen says, "Your spikes are nothing compared to my glorious metal figure." Venga Boy
Don't
CD
give a
signature
shit,
item,
man.
very good. So, here's the thing. Normally you wouldn't hit him, but because of the flame that Galvan descended upon him earlier, his AC is 10 right now. And you do hit him. And you can't do less than your shock damage. So you break into his brittle form, you carve off a bit of his metal, and then it begins to swift into like a liquid bit. And like something almost akin to blood, more like Quicksilver or Mercury bleeding out of his side comes up. It looks like you just reset his AC. But you fucked him up. You came up there, you fucked him up. That's your turn. It is Renric Carver's turn. Renric, you're facing the doppelganger. He's got something on his back. Got a little nozzle on it. You know these boys are vulnerable to the heat.
Alright. I did notice that. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull out my canister, which has been pre-filled. And I'm gonna point it at the doppelganger and try to ignite it and use it.
So you're gonna try and ignite yours or theirs?
Yours,
Um,
Renrex.
Mine, so that I attack him.
All right.
For it.
All right. I'm gonna say I'm gonna give you a you know which end the nozzle is, and it's a spray. This is not like a complicated action or like skillful swing of anything here. You do it. You do it. Roll me right quick, if you could. Fine, sir. Roll me a D8. To give the whole unnozzled point-blank spray from yours. Because you're just coming right out the tube. Oh my god, yeah. So, Renric sees a flash of something tens of thousands of years in the past. Perhaps even of another world. It's strange. A young girl wearing strange attire throws water onto a woman and she just fucking melts. And then flash back to reality, the doppelganger melts like she's the Wicked Witch of the fucking West.
Oh yeah.
And in the doppelganger's place is just a slagged metal, like, mass, but it melts onto the fuel cell tube and sparks, like, a gooped, like, somewhat metal-drenched flame. There, up against the doors of the prayer house. And it licks slightly at the wood there.
Well, not enough of my problem.
Alright, you've acted, you didn't move, so you have a full 30 feet of movement.
Is it actually blocking the doors?
No, you can still get in. You want to get in?
Yeah, I want to find out who else is in there, and if they need fucking up.
Okay, yeah. You see.
Nothing.
Yeah, so you see a group of people on this lovely map. There was some Pyrites who had been holding closed the door, but they backed up after the fight, and a whole bunch of other stuff happened. And yeah, crazily enough, you feel as if you've loaded onto a separate map right quick.
Oh my.
Uh-oh.
And why didn't my copy paste go through? Okay, it did. Yeah, yeah. You're at the prayer house door. You've got 30 feet of movement. Go ahead, walk in, see what you see.
Why are you
I
saying?
see a peasant.
You sound so like.
There's a vast mirror, by the way, wall. Like a great glass wall on the southern side. And the pews seem to be faced towards it, from what you can see.
Yeah, walk in. Why don't you do it? Come on, do it. Walk in. You won't walk in.
Go directly to church.
Yeah.
Not
So
past
the
God.
Pyrites around the corner seem to be stanced up, ready to bonk you when you come around the corner. However, they see that the dude, this woman has witnessed that dude just melt, and she doesn't know what's going on anymore, and there's a brief moment of hesitance in her eyes. She's still gonna swing on you. I give you a choice here. You can either give me a charisma convince, or you can coast on that sweet, sweet Arcanist privilege and give me a faction influence roll.
Sheesh.
Oh. Let's do the faction roll. Those are fun.
All right. Well, if anybody wants to, yeah, because you when Renric came to this town, he convinced them like, hey, you know, I'm a legit kind of guy. Take me serious. I'm not going to cause you no problems. I'll have the strength of his association with the Arcanist Clade. But let's see how it goes this time.
I don't know what my threshold is.
The Arcanist at this point holds 47 influence. Riding right on you.
God, no
Their grip slackens. Both Pyrites give up their ready attacks, and they say, "What's happening? Why do I hear Galvan's voices like it's talking to Galvan? Oh, please forgive me. Oh, Blackfire, back." Yeah, new mission for you, Agent 47. They drop down and fucking pray. So Renric, you've moved in 5, 10, 15 feet. You got 15 feet further.
That's so good. Fucking Arcanists.
Okay, so I would move to the center. And observe my surroundings.
Yeah, the peasants here are
Who are all these
scared.
people?
They are beaten and downtrodden-looking refugees. Some of the women wear the cute black Mickey Mouse bow of Alsace-Lorraine in the real world, but here more associated with the eastern region of Charnay. They're clearly recent refugees from the fallen region of Charnay, a kingdom which has fallen to an undead plague. And other regions and other downtrodden people who just needed a place to live. And Pyre said that they were taking all comers. And yeah, there was a religious overtone, but I mean, religious overtone is better than out in the woods with the monsters. Or back home in Charnay with the zombies. So, these seem like people who probably could not have reliably been expected to drink the Kool-Aid. It seems like they were posted up in here with the pirates barring the door and the doppelganger in there with them. And you also see, very hastily closed in the southwestern corner, a door. And past the door you could hear sort of like a clacking, flapping mouth sound. Hard to describe. Faint. But yeah, there seems to be a door behind the glass down here in the bottom left. But Renric, that's your full 30. We pop back to Pyre. And Eleonora, it is presently your turn.
Well, at the moment, my question is, does it look like any of the pyrites that have been downed by various parties are going to die?
One of these women has a deep, gashing chest wound.
Where?
I'll put the red X's.
Closer to cast,
I'm
right?
gonna put the red X's on the people who are
not
gonna
sorry.
not survive. Okay,
That
so
one. Okay. How many are in front of me right now?
so this one has been burned. This one's been burned. That one's been slashed. The one right in front of you. There is only one presently in melee range of you, right in front of you, blocking your progress. One dude.
And trying to
Yeah, he gives you this look.
base them will is going to require my action, right?
It'll be your action. It'll be a dex heal. Or do you risk the op?
So these people, so like, do they look like they're just already dead or they're dying?
Nobody's dead yet. Those two pyrites who went up against Galvan's shield are terribly burned. The pyrite woman on the ground is bleeding out through a massive chest wound. They're not dead yet, but they're not going to outlive this encounter without immediate medical care.
And so the ones that are burning, does it look like a fatal burn potentially?
The
Could I
front
maybe
of
do
their
like a-
clothes have been singed off, and the burn is deeply charred the flesh. You haven't closely examined whatever the fuck this is used as an incendiary weapon to deliver burn wounds. You could give me an int heal to give me your breast field appraisal, but you don't have a body of experience to come from. If it was a regular burn, that shit looks pretty bad, but they're not still burning.
Okay. Well.
Although there is still some black flame like dotted around the
I
field from
think
where Galvan
so. I definitely can't get to this pyrite in the top. Like I can't get to this one in one turn, right?
You cannot get to them and heal them. They're 60 feet away. The only way you can even get to them this turn is if you double move.
Okay.
Which
So
means
what I'll
taking
do
down.
instead is I will try to base this person in front of me,
All right.
and then move 30 towards the one that is
all
bleeding
right.
out.
And now everybody, I want you to put something in chat. And I want you to guess what I'm asking you to put in the Twitch chat. And we're going to see what happens if Eleonora bases this person. Give me a dex heal.
It's a great verb.
Based.
Base.
Drop your based in chat as, again, you get it down their throats, their eyes roll back, like, "Rah!" And it's gone. Yeah, another one. Based. Based.
Okay.
Based!
And then then I move 30 feet this way.
Yeah, based and base vialed. Yeah,
Base vibe. Base pill. Come
I mean,
on.
base
It's
pill.
medicine.
yeah.
Come on, Lee.
Take medicine in pill form.
Yeah, but she stopped in the vial. Anyway,
Based in silver
alright,
pill.
so
Blue.
Eleonora, that's your turn. Cascare.
Edgy.
Cascare is in his plate armor. He something poisoned him. He's not feeling too good. but he's coming up. Cascare, he's your boy. He's coming up. He's coming up. He's there. Woo. He makes it. He huffs. He puffs. And, he swings his, he comes up and he swings his greatsword with both hands to bring down this great and brutal weapon and break it upon the body of his foe. And wow.
It's me, isn't it?
No.
Okay, good. I thought you were gonna put you hadn't mentioned who he was attacking, so you were going like at length,
You're
like,
setting it
oh
up,
yes,
yeah.
he's bringing
So
his big weapon down
he
upon his greatest foe.
He swings the
like,
blade. This appropriate accent, because it's a bit of a claymore. It actually breaks into the core of this thing. Its metal heart distends, reforms, tries to tragically gather around it, backs into the flame, goes Terminator Silver. He's dead. He's been overkilled. He's torn apart. Cascare's sword is like embedded in him. And Cass, it seems like he's gonna melt there at the edge of the Blackfire flame if he's not moved anywhere else. And as you look into him, you see something. You see something beyond this place. You see something reflexive of different worlds, of many worlds, of the world around it, even. In those discs you could barely call eyes, yet are portals to somewhere of the soul. You see the mirrored soul.
Oh, that's
You make absolutely delicious descriptions.
So yeah,
And
that's
that was
Cascare's
particularly
turn.
poignant. Very interesting. And I do wonder, in my heart of hearts, what would happen if I let him stay there. But you must remember one thing about Cass.
Cass does not wonder.
Viv is her
Her
mom.
eyes do not dally or dilly.
Alright,
They exclusively lie upon the center of mass, which she
Alright.
sweeps down the fucking stairs.
on your turn. Okay, so
On my turn.
Vivian, it is your turn. What do you want to do?
Oh
My
yeah,
turn?
wait. It is not my turn at all.
No,
Yes, it is.
Cascare decided it's Viv's turn.
It is Vivian's turn. My apologies. I forget one.
All right, so Vivian is gonna walk up, and is this pyrite up here silvered?
She's presently got the hypno look.
Vivian thinks about the mirror, but she's here to help people, not to risk their lives, and so she slides the mirror into a pocket and brings up her hands and says, all right, now we can have a lot of discussion about the mirrors and the black fire, and we can learn a whole lot about each other. How about we spend a few moments talking? Does that sound good?
Nothing you say gets through. The eyes are glassed over. Her violent intent is honed in towards Galvan.
Well, don't say I didn't warn you. And she slips the mirror back out, and she tries to, she points it at the woman, the mirrored side out.
You point it at the woman, and you feel as if though, in some way, kind of like twisting a key in a lock, hearing the tumbler click and knowing it's open, you have just made use of something. Or perhaps something, Vivian, has made use of you. As your main action, you point the mirror at a foe. You take 1 damage and 1 system strain as you feel heat boil up below your porcelain skin. And your foe makes a mental save.
Wow.
Yep, and
Critical failure.
and yeah, you may spend their movement and roll me 1d4.
Okay. Two.
All right. So
hopefully not killing this person.
So in what direction do you have her move?
I'm gonna have her move west towards Eleonora.
So she walks right up next to Eleonora, and then with a strained expression in her gaze as the dilated pupil twists with a bit of a spiral, falls over next to her.
Hopefully still breathing.
Who knows? You're not there. But yeah, what's this? You're not over your 50% threshold with that, right?
Nope, I'm at 40. I'm at 40%.
Nice. All right. Your skin's a little too thick, and that's your turn. You've moved. You've acted. Yep. It's the mob's turn. And when Galvan is galvanized, the pyrites rush up to try and do something, but they're not fast enough. These pyrites are, cowering. It is Galvan's turn. Galvan now strides swiftly up to the base, and Galvant melts to slag before Cass's eyes. He raises up a hand, and it twists as if though a ruined bit of wrought metal twisted by a cruel sun, and you just see a bit of inert metal there. Cass, it's your turn.
You may think your son's cruel, but mine's crueler. As I said before, I'm going to try and use my sword as a shovel to push Galvant down the stairs. Came so close. Not
Sure.
close enough.
Give me a strength stab to deploy your sword as a tool.
Yes, a crueler.
But bear in mind.
Actually, you know what? No.
You'll have to stand at the edge of the black fire if you want to do that.
Honestly, I may even drop my sword into the metal blood of this phony creature, and I'm gonna use my shield for this actually.
Okay. And do you want to give me a strength exert to scoop him up?
Yes.
And pop him over? And you do it from in front of him, not behind him, because behind him you'd need to be standing in the black fire.
I'm gonna fucking stand as close to the black fire as I possibly can without actually injuring myself extremely. Like, if I get some lacerations on my back, that's fine.
You feel things heating up, and you feel your spikes respond to them tensely.
Yeah, system strain, I got you.
Not yet. Give me a physical save.
I mean, like, you can give me a system strain if you want to. Also, like, the dice have said give me a system strain.
Yeah, you get a system strain. You bowling ball Galvant, and a laugh track plays as the pyrites fly away like bowling pins as their false master's a rigid body knocks them aside and asunder.
Hot damn. So that was a critical fail. How many system strain do I get from that?
There's, technically speaking, no critical failures in this game. You get one.
You can give me more if you want to.
You'll get more when you get more.
You're begging for it. I know.
You'll get more when you earn it.
So Cass Fenborn, that's your turn. Unless you want to move as well.
Stay up all night
Because
forever.
you acted where you were standing.
I'm gonna go ahead and, move like an inch forward and pat Cascara on the back and say, what you did today was hard, but you did the right thing.
He kind of gives a stare, opens his mouth to say something, looks down at Galvan approaching, and kneels, and says, I do not know what I have even done. And Cass, your turn. It's Renric's turn. Renric, you're on a little exploratory phase, aren't you? In fact, let me see. Is there any hostile remaining on the board? No, there isn't. We're gonna break initiative order really fast, and we're gonna have.
Wait, do the pyrites not count anymore?
I counted them up. Those pyrites have all been knocked over. have all been knocked out by the metal Galvan statue. Every other pyrite I see has been liquidated, or like knocked out or brought to submit in some way.
I see. Okay.
So really quickly, we pop into the Pyre Prayer House, the PPH, if you will, and
PP.
PPE.
and yeah. So Renric, you checking in that door?
Okay.
Mr. Carver?
I am. Yeah, no time to waste. I'll run over there.
Cool. So you run in. You come around a corner. You find a metal grate, and you see a face before you, and a hiss, and you see a man with his tongue cut out, sneer at you, hands curled up against the irons of the grate, as if though an animal or cat going. You look into the eyes of what can only be a condemned soul.
Well.
Oh, by the
that is
way, you
unfortunate.
see a mass. You see 2 fuel cells and a mass of various resources that strike you as arcane in nature, maybe even salvageable. It's almost like a miniature workshop has been set up here to handle the alterations of fuel cells. There's also a chest here.
Wire DACA.
So the cell that the condemned is in, does it look like I could easily open it?
There's a lock. Do you have anything that you think would open a fairly basic padlock?
Probably not.
Fist.
If there was just something like a bar over it that I could easily open, then I would pause. But otherwise, I'm going to, for now, I'm just gonna proceed to the chest.
You proceed to the chest, and you see there's also a hatch here that must lead somewhere. You come upon the chest. It has a lock on it, but it was left unlocked, as if there was someone that hurried back and forth from it swiftly.
Oh my. Is there anything notable about the chest there? Or does it just look like a box?
It looks like a box. It looks like a trunk. It looks like it might have once belonged to a nobleman. The fleur pattern along the metal implies Charnay craftsman, perhaps, but anyone could have made it. It's been weathered and beaten up and seen much better days.
Alright, shoot. Renric is usually a fairly cautious one, and he's half a mind to turn back and get allies, but he's going to peek down the trapdoor.
You peek down the trapdoor, you see a brief dirt passageway, 5 feet, enough to crouch and pass through. Wooden struts occasionally.
So it's just like a tunnel?
It looks like it bends swiftly after it leaves where it is.
Well, we've come this far.
Alright, you pop that shit open.
Let's go.
You enter darkness. Approximately 15 feet ahead of you, there is a small bit of ladder, and there's a bit of ladder on your side. There's a bit of ladder on that side. There's a patch above. It does not easily give way, as if though a heavy weight is above it. What would you do?
There's a what?
A heavy weight is upon this hatch. Next, if you descend into the hatch, you go 15 feet of dirt tunnel. There's another hatch. And trying to open it is not going well because something heavy is on it.
Could I use my staff as leverage to try to open it?
You absolutely could. Give me a strength exert with a modifier of 3.
Awesome.
You hear the scrape of wood on wood and the bump and clatter of metal bands as you emerge from a hatch into what really looks like somebody's house. You've just pushed aside their bed and a chest that was blocking this entrance. Logically speaking, you should be in what you thought was Cascare's house.
Well, that's weird. I'm gonna keep exploring. Where else can I go from here?
The only way out is the doors directly to your south. They open out into town. Otherwise, the only thing left to do would be to rummage through Cascare's shit. Or go back to the other chest.
Let's see. So it's... let's go ahead and check the chest.
Alright, not Cascare's, but the one back there, or...?
Cascare's, the one here.
Oh yeah, you pop it open, and it looks like it's got several changes of like breeches and black cloaks and funny hats and belt buckles and like a nail file. There's also a big black leather bound tome.
I would grab the tome.
All right.
Let's do some looting.
As you are grabbing the tome, we pop back to the outside world. Galvan has reached the precipice. Cascare, he bids Cascare to rise, and Cascare says, "I was afraid that I had lost my second home. I cannot outlive another." And Galvan looks at him and says, "The pure of heart shall always know the strength of conviction. This, Cascare, was a test that you have passed. Interlopers in our flock, burned away." Galvan then turns to look at you, Cass. And,
Sup?
yeah, Eleanor, you come up on the pyrite. Give me, it's been a turn. So that's gonna be a +1 difficult. But then, doesn't the healing kit make this an easier test? God. I don't know the specifics. There's a lot of specific numbers here. Roll me a fucking heal test.
Whoop.
It's not quite enough. Roll me another heal test.
I will use my reroll my expert
All right, yeah,
class
okay.
ability.
Yeah, you reroll. You use your expert class ability. And you manage to save her and stabilize her. Let me just roll 2 other dice really quickly.
I'm gonna then run over to the other pyrites that are burned.
Alright.
Yeah.
One of them is very close to dead. The other has stabilized and will be fine. So test again. Viv, you're watching all this happen. The pyrites are getting back to their feet. The ones who got force-fed by Eleonora are like looking around confused, but a bit more awake and alert than everybody else, who's kind of still groggily getting back up. Eleonora, you do manage to save their life.
Hoot.
Get it. Are we still in initiative order?
No.
So just quickly, no one else around here looks injured. Like no one looks like they're
nobody else has a fatal injury.
gonna die. Okay.
Yeah.
Vivian's clicking her tongue and examining the pyrite that had been so callously attacked by a random mirror.
They don't seem to have changed in any discernible fashion. You could describe what you do, but they're just on the ground now.
Well, she's gonna try and help the poor woman up and make sure she's okay.
She's unconscious, breathing, but unconscious. So Cass, up on the precipice, Galvan turns to you and says, "You have come to drive out the false deceivers from the Archspire, but your kind
Cass is just
never
like,
come
was
without
it
your own
Vronsky?
reason." Wait, what? Your kind never come without your own purpose. Tell me, why have you been Spire sent, marked one?
I'm speaking to Cascare, right? Is Galvan listening?
Galvan is saying this shit.
Yeah,
Okay,
go.
yeah, no. All right, cool. Yeah. We were sent here by the Spire to ascertain why the Aratu has been spreading of late, and it would appear that the actions of your doppelganger are responsible for that. Seemingly, they turned this flame into black flame, which, of course, I understand is your religion. That's cool and all, but like, this flame is not black flame. Not naturally, at least, not unnaturally, as for the Aratu.
Galvan says, "This flame has stood in this fashion for a year. If you have come to investigate recent developments, it is not the cause. My doppelganger has interloped. It is true.
Huh.
Tell me,
Interesting.
have you found the charnel heart? I know you're kind in their ways.
Are you... Okay, let's be frank here. Let's be completely honest, because I'm fucking not in the mood to barter with ill will and ill intent. I'm not in the mood to do intrigue or any sort of
Nor am
fancy
I.
highfalutin
The
words.
black fire
This
demands
is the
the
charnel
truth.
heart.
Yes. And Galvan...
This flame. Yes.
Galvan looks at it, walks into the flame, and is unburned entirely, paces around, looks at the circle, rubs his chin and says, I had long considered the possibility that the chamber below was the charnel heart, but I had no proof. Now you come to me and say it is.
Objectively speaking, yes. And that's not a good thing.
Good criteria there, Madeline. I agree. Being people based, yeah. You by the end, Eleonora, if you were to post a screenshot of this in Discord, the only response possible would be based. Yeah. So, Galvan says, "So you seek to heal the land?"
The people I'm around seek to heal the land. If it were up to me, the land would be a crater. But fortunately,
It
They
makes
took
no
the matter
difference.
out of my
It makes no difference to me. I am here for the flame alone. The Infarush is an imposition. And if it is the will of the black flame that it be swept away, then by all means. But I am indifferent. And
Very well,
he walks out of the black flame, completely unbothered, by the way. He looks at you, and he says, "Very well then. I have treated with the Artuans for safe passage through the camp. They will be arriving shortly now that they see the violence has died down. Tell me, if you are not in charge of making this decision, then who is? I would have words with your shepherd."
you should speak to Vivienne.
He looks
She's in
out.
charge.
He looks out and he says, "The one with the bird head, or
The one who's not drawn her blade, for she is not the soldier."
I see." And Galvan proceeds down, hands on hip, very fabulously, and approaches.
I
you again.
follow, as if a bodyguard almost, but not for
Cascare
him.
also follows, as if a bodyguard, and indeed for him.
I do love a little bodyguard cock waving.
Basically.
Bodyguard cock waving.
By the way, so
My
Renric,
bodyguard's bigger than your bodyguard.
you've got the
Bodyguard on
Where's
bodyguard
Debbie
action.
Right now? Where's Debbie?
Renric, you've got the book. Would you head back in and check out the chest in the back of the prayer house?
Yes, I would.
All right. You find 200 silver, 2 strange vellum scrolls, and X1 tome bound in firm white boarding. Additionally, you find nozzles and other accoutrements for turning fuel cells into flame spitters. And yeah, Renric, that's your rummage about. Meanwhile, out front, Galvan approaches Vivienne by the well and says, "How now, Reclaimer?"
Vivian stands up from where she was looking over the pyrite and leans a hand on the well and says, "You're going to have to dig another well, you know that, right?"
This well is tainted, yes. The river will provide, assuming you complete your mission. With the Infarush's influence waned or removed, we will be able to drink the river's waters again.
I think if we do this wrong, there won't be a river here much to do anything with. Sorry, work has me a little caught up. Thank you for assisting in this. I hope no one has actually died who hasn't been an instigator in all this.
Leave doubt behind you. It is a shackle of this realm. Let the black fire consume it all. And Galvan kind of casually steps on this, like, black napalm fire, and it goes out. And he says, "Douse the inferior flames. And take your purpose, Spire Scent. Look at you. Your dermis. The flame that cracks beneath. Begging to be free. Embrace it. Come. Come and look upon the heart. And then make your choice. There is no time for deliberation."
Vivian steals a glance to Cass and says, "I think I know what you're saying, but do not speak to me about that."
And he says, "There is no value in hiding behind half-truths and silly euphemism. As your companion here has said, there's no time for intrigue. I know what you are, Marked, and you know who I am. Let us be frank and free in our honesty." And the R2s are beginning to come into town, looking around, a little confused, armed up. The Bountiful Soul is coughing up red and orange blood on his sleeve. Avagera trying to coax him in. He's having to ride a Taguchi. And the R2 is looking around at this. They're very confused. And Galvan says, "It is as I said. I have driven out the false prophet and shown myself the true shepherd of my flock." And Avagera, steps up and says, "Very well. And the Infarush." And she looks at Vivienne, and Galvan says, "That for the Arcspire Scent." And Galvan looks at Viv, and Ava looks at Viv, and Ava looks at Galvan. And Galvan kind of, Ava feels like there's one other thing she's going to mention real soon. That isn't the Infarush, but What do you say? What do you do? Eleonora, you've healed up basically everyone. What are you doing at this point?
God, trying to not be here at the moment. Trying to be.
Cass is looking.
Too much conflict.
Astral projecting into another realm.
Yeah, you do see that there's a really big wall mirror in the opened prayer house if you want to go check that out. Didn't Renric go that way? I wonder what happened to him.
So these people want to kill these people, right?
Well, so Avagera gave, we're gonna wipe you out if you don't get out by tomorrow, to Doppelganger Galvan, who wasn't willing to strike any deals. Galvan seems to have talked to Ava and been willing to do something. So she's coming in, they're tense, they've got their weapons out, but, Ava's come here not with a full, they were ready to burn this town down, and now she's ready to come have a ticky-talk, so it looks like maybe things have gotten better.
Still tense, but
Eleonora will just come over here and be like, "Oh, hello, hi, just if you would just put your weapons down, please, I think we can sort things out. Look, all the conflict here is over. Everybody's safe, so we can just calm down.
Ava, slings her bow on her back and says, "Very well. We didn't know what transpired here when we saw the townspeople begin to attack you, but it seems that things have quieted down." She looks like she's still really not so sure about that. You can roll me a charisma to convince everyone the danger is past.
Oh boy, okay.
The Artuans point their bows at the ground. That seems like about as much as you're going to get out of them.
Is this a new scene?
Nope.
No.
Actually, wait.
Okay.
So, well, I guess technically, you did the skill check during the fight, right? No, you did it after the fight.
I did. No, it was after the fight. Yeah, you're right. You did drop initiative.
I think that after the fight in Pyre is a scene. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's fine.
So, Cass, you're following behind because you're bodyguarding Viv. Cascare's bodyguarding Galvan.
No. Cass is standing behind Galvan, bodyguarding Viv.
Okay.
To be clear, she's standing absolutely adjacent to Cascare, giving like parallel eye glances to Cascare, standing right behind Gascon.
Right.
But she's not fucking bodyguarding Gascon.
And Galvan doesn't seem to give a shit. He also hasn't dropped his fire shield. And
I mean, also, like, honestly, at this point, I think we're all kind of based in alkaline pill. So
Galvan looks at Viv.
We're kind of talking on a human level.
Galvan looks at Viv and says, "Have you brought a soul?"
Semi-human.
Viv, we've brought several, actually. That's one of the issues, and I don't... Well, I'm beside myself. I apologize. What would you suggest?
Around this time, Renric, if you would come out after looting the chest, you can pop out.
Yep. Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Between an old man, a tired deity, and I'd say your former rival, which among them suits this Aratu the best? You live here. I value your
put
input.
no stock in gods, only the black fire. And that thing is tainted and bent to ill purpose in this land. A man who has lived many years and come to know the fullness of his mortality and the weathering of the seasons, though, holds promise. And Ava steps forward and says, "There's no way we can send him on with the fire in that state." And she points to the still black fire, and Galvan says, "If you'd like, I could shield him through the fires to reach the charnel heart. In fact, if I don't, I'm not sure how he'd make it there to participate anyway."
Galvan, I must ask, because we are speaking frank and because we've abandoned all pretense of intrigue, why is the fire black? You can describe your religion to me. I'm not a religious sort, but you have my permission to proselytize. But you must tell me.
The black fire is my pact. I touched the sleeping stones amidst the gorgeous gaseous gorge in that deep-wedged place at the edge of life, and I saw those who traveled here in aeons past. And I knew the flame. And as if though to demonstrate, he pulses black fire through his palm. And he's truly commanding
not surprised by this. She kind of expects that.
And he says, "I was guided here through prayer and fasting and vision. And when I came here, I knew in my bones what I had to do." Yes, level 1 geek, it is a spicy cosplay she has as Cassandra.
Well, hello there, level 1 geek.
Hey,
Heyo! Yeah, I got a fucking spicy cosplay. You gonna see this sword later on your own channel.
Yep. And that's more or less the situation here. So Galvan says, and I came to spread my flame, to bring them into the pact.
And Galvan, because we've abandoned the pretense of intrigue, what will happen if someone decides they don't want this flame to burn black? They want it to burn orange or red or some other color.
Galvan says simply, what will happen is not a matter of wants, it is a matter of deeds. What they are willing to do to seize it. What I have done.
What if there's like a whole fucking army outside your encampment here and you only have a few mostly damaged people to defend the black flame, and they have a whole fuck ton of people to make it another color?
Ava kind of clears her throat and says, yes, Galvan, that particular hypothetical scenario that I think we should now discuss in earnest, that your town has had its issues dealt with. And Galvan...
This in the most diplomatic sense possible.
Galvan strokes his chin. And he says,
being a representative of the Arkspire,
even if everyone here were dead, it is possible that Caravanier Gara here would be incapable of changing the nature of the flame. But if one of the Blackfire Pact were to consent, and she kind of looks at Ava, and Ava looks at him, and she says, I'm willing to compromise. Out with it. And Galvan says, I could temporarily revert the flame for your ritual. And she says, this is an eternal flame, Galvan. And it seems like there's some tension here. Like, if nobody smooths it over, things might continue to be a little rocky.
Cass is not a smoother of things. She doesn't say anything.
And Ava would also step forward and say, and you, Reclaimers, I know your reputation, but I have received your word, and she points at Renric, that this, that the Infrarush will not be destroyed.
You've stated, of course, that you might be amenable to dealing with our kind in the future if the Infrarush remains. That strikes me as an even bargain.
Yeah, so Ava's pretty clear that she's not just, like, pissed at Galvan, but she's also, like, not letting you guys forget that it would be very unfortunate if the place where she always comes to graze her herd once a year were to be destroyed. And the old man...
I flash a look to Viv, but I think Viv knows, and I don't, like... It's not a do something, Viv. Look, it's like a... Whatever you say goes, Viv. Look.
And so at this point, Renerick would step forward, having sufficiently taken in the scene and what has changed since he entered the prayer house, and say, yes, we did promise. And let's see. And he would look at Vivienne, knowing that she has the black gem, and say, we have the means to heal the Infrarush. Let's just do that. Let's just get it over with.
Galvan says, very well, I will ferry you to the edge of the charnel heart and permit you to perform your ritual.
Yes, though we should bring along our guest as well, I think. And she motions to the older man here.
And he coughs a little, and Ava, like, helps him up. And he looks up at the flame, and he says, I cannot go spread amongst the stars. The flame is black as the void. And Ava kind of looks at Galvan, and Galvan doesn't say anything, but it looks like Galvan might need some convincing.
Well, Vivian is
I also
quite-
look at Galvan.
Cass chuckles and waves Cass. Vivian chuckles and waves Cass down, and Galvan. Let me put it to you thusly: this would be good for everyone, especially one who will be staying here year round. We simply need the black. Oh,
Give me a charisma convince, unless you were going to say something else.
I was.
She's about to. I think she's about to like red pill the previously black pilled Giscon.
It would be beneficial to everyone in the long run if, but for a moment, we were to compromise and set aside the black flame for the one in your heart, if but for a moment.
The flame in
And
my
she's
heart
born.
burns black. Marked. Do not forget that. And give me
And
a
it will
charisma
never go
convince.
out. It will never go out. Surely. Oh, come on. Yes, one of those is a 1. Thank God.
Reroll that shit.
Oh, there's an 8.
Yeah.
It's a 9 actually. Isn't it?
Oh, yeah, you're right. It is a 9.
He mulls it
Is
over,
there any chance
and
I
he
can
says,
assist?
"Very well." No. Also, he does not. He's aware of the fact you're there. He doesn't give a shit. He's not afraid of you.
Cool.
Half of the fire, with a wave of his hand, half the fire burns red and gold and spews up into the sky, and Galvan is gonna step back and gesticulate as if though to say, move forward, and who's going in? So Galvan is prepared to ferry the old man through, because he can defend him from the fire. But Galvan can't do what you came here to do. Only the marked can do that. So who descends with the bountiful soul into the charnel heart?
I'm going up at least to the precipice, if not
Vivi-
further.
Vivian would like to go and is motioning for Eleonora and Renerick to come along if they so choose.
Renner would go down.
Yeah, I guess.
Would go.
Eleonora, you can't miss out on the healing of Eternal Heart.
Yes, I suppose that's true. I do really want to observe.
I'll stand at the precipice to ensure that the carnal heart is Vivian's to decide its fate.
That's very kind, Cass. I'm sure we'll come to a functional consensus once we're down there.
Yep.
I look at you meaningfully. At your eyes, not your center of mass. As if to suggest... do what you see is right.
Galvan
back to you line of
opens
sight.
a fissure in the flames, and as you walk with him, you go unburned. You step to a hole at the center, and to step into it is almost to feel gravity itself slowly give way below you, to a gentle fall, and you find yourselves within the beating charnel heart. And within this within this chamber now, Galvan awaits above, parting the flames, and the central spick, which would otherwise be burning you alive right now. And the bountiful soul looks around and says, I never thought I'd go out quite like this, but... And then he slinks to the ground, and whatever he was going to say is gone. In a single moment, you see something. A flash. A golden ember. A soul. Of bounty. Like a single sheaf of wheat that could spread out into 10,000. And now, all of you marked, any marked can do this. You gotta decide, are you gonna... Whoever reaches out first does this. Destroy or heal the heart. Or destroy or heal the Infarush.
So
Renner,
we're healing it, right? Guys, right?
Yes, of course. Why
yes,
would
we are.
why would we want to destroy this Aratu? It's healthy. It's providing assistance to the people in the area. It causes no malign influences on those who partake of it.
Me up above secretly hoping that they choose destroy no matter what.
Uh-huh.
The only one. To be clear.
All right, so
To be kill it, right?
you press the soul down, and-
Right?
Yeah. So you're
Yeah,
doing battle
so-
cast. So like, is it 3 people down here? Put their hands in, one from each clade, a guardian, arcanist, and a reclaimer.
Perfect.
Each your hands lock out and clasp together, and the old man's body sublimates as he expands. He grows not to be one starfarer, but to be a million blades of grass. His love for life spreads, and golden tenors and threads beat out through the world. And you feel something shift and grow. And as you emerge from the flame and Galvan leads you out, you look upon the world, and the heart, once sickly and twisted, grows bountifully larger and suppler behind you. You emerge, step out, and see that all around, the river is healing. The nature is healing. The Infrarush is going back to its bonds, and in the Infrarush, you see the rushes have grown by a foot and are still pushing higher. The life there caws and cries, not with hunger, but with elation, with the joy of living. And it feels as if though you have said something right with not this world, but another. You emerge, and, Ava steps forward, and much to the chagrin of her people, says, I have an offer, Galvan. We know that the land has been healed, and we appreciate that. The Spires have kept their word, and you are interested in becoming a key strategic trading partner. You have your faith, and we have ours. The Artuans sort of clutch their weapons at that. So I propose that you and I together consecrate the eternal flame. One stream in its prior capacity, and one stream as it is now.
I step forward into this meeting of two minds and assert a third. I concur. We 3 should consecrate.
And Ava kind of looks at Cass and says, Forgive me, Spire Scent, but your people claim no sight beyond the Spire. This is my people's holy site of many generations, and Galvan has clearly a deep devotion to it. By what right would you claim to participate?
The right of protector of the realm. We mean to ensure stability, long term, of our adjacent lands, in which you fall,
Ava looks at you.
among many others.
She mulls it over. Galvan looks at you. His face
We seek
implacable.
stability above all things.
Have we
and
not
prosperity
provided?
for all those under our banner.
Yeah,
Have we not provided a stable and prosperous land for you to share?
give me a Reclaimer influence roll.
I think
Anybody-
it is
anybody
about
wanna-
time that I did one. How do we do
Anybody
this?
want to throw some? Anyone want to
You
throw
roll a
some?
D100.
reclaimer
Does anybody
points
want
our
to
way?
give the reclaimers real
We've been-
quick?
we've been
Let's go
kinda-
twice.
we've been
They're at
kinda-
46. They're at 46.
We're kind of lagging, honestly.
Roll-
like,
roll
we
a
haven't-
D100.
We haven't been exerting our influence as much.
going
Like,
once,
everybody's
going
got like
twice.
just
Be
a
quiet.
smidgen
It's enough.
of- It's a crumb of influence.
Oh, there it is. Plus 10. Plus 10
Plus 10,
reclaimer. Okay.
56. Better than
Maybe,
going for the
maybe.
odds
Oh my
now.
God.
Down to 9.
Thank you, Madeline.
All right.
You faction whores, all of you.
I'm the faction horde. It's
How
true.
dare you? How dare
admittedly.
you call Vivienne Helwa a whore? She is a lady. She is a single mom who loves
Oh
her
my
kids.
fucking god.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
unicorn.
no, like, Vivi is
So
a
that's
single
an
mom,
extra plus
loves her
2 to the
children.
reclaimers, right? Real life unicorn.
Yeah, 12 total. It's
All right.
59.
All right, yeah, that is.
So let's
58,
see.
right?
Ooh, look at that! Real life unicorn came in clutch. Oh yes.
All right, give me the
Real
roll.
life
Give me the
unicorn.
roll. D100, Pat. Roll a single D100. 58 or below.
Can I
All right.
give my? Oh, I already used my dangerous to go along.
No, you
Right,
can't.
yeah,
You're on
can-
stream.
can
You
we get
cannot redeem channel points
All right.
for something on the chain.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
They look. Ava looks and looks at Galvan and says, "Her people are not happy about this," but she says, "I think it is time we give Unity a try." And Galvan says, "The Blackfire Pact ascends." And Cass, you are beckoned up to the circle to join the three of them.
Is the map outside of the Charnel Heart right now?
Oh, yeah, I'm dumb. Thank you.
No, none of this is happening inside of the Charnel Heart. This is just the 3 people that were left outside.
Yeah, well, everybody popped up. You all have witnessed this because you all left. You find yourselves at opposite ends, Cass, and Ava says it is a simple ritual passed down by my people.
Which way should I be?
It is a ritual.
Right here?
Yeah. It shall be in the name of we shall mark the opposite sides, and that our wills conjoin. And you, Cass, the Fenborn, let yourself upon the ground here, and if you would so commit, drive your spike into the flames.
My sword is fully sheathed.
Full of sheath.
I'm standing stalwart and stoic. And when they say, so I ask.
Alright, so are you gonna break off one of your fucking spikes and then use it to bleed onto it?
Yes.
Okay, metal as fuck moment here. All 3 bloods conjoin and whirl around, and suddenly, a glow. A rainbow glow covers this surface, and it pulses, twists chromatically, and then something amazing happens. The fire shoots out in massive, tall beams over the Arklands. One flame red and gold, the other black, and at the center, something lingering there. Sanguine, not gold, but unmistakably twisting its symbol. A rough-hewn arc spire. And the way that the flames lick around it in 2 streams almost looks like the symbol of the Reclaimers. At some point, you talk to the line maker and do a little exchange. Congratulations, you have
Because we have an Infrigator tail as well. Like, not only
Yeah,
do we
you
get
do some business.
I got a tail.
You do some business, you make some exchanges, and the Aratuans come into town and break bread with the people of Pyre, the Pyrites. Galvan remains in power, and for now the flame is split with a joining mark of the Reclaimers, a symbol that can be seen for miles all around. And now you head home. It's a day's travel. It's a day and a half bit's travel through Stillwater, which you give a wide berth to the pool in the center of, and the loom wash. And as you come back to the spire, you are greeted by several people waving to you from the edge. In particular, people with Guardian Gold. They seem pretty hype about the symbol. And yeah.
Guardian Gold. What?
Sorry, Reclaimer Gold. Yeah. We come to the end of the session, and the end of our first adventure, and as our 4 heroes would walk back, Is there anything that you look and say to one another, or reflect upon, or do amongst yourselves? You're not always sent out with the same group of marked. Could be the last time you see some of these faces in some time.
Well, it was nice working with you all.
A pleasure.
Yeah.
Yes.
And by the way, Eleonora, when you gather up the junk in the back, because Galvan doesn't want it, you get +2 arcane salvage.
Pog. Woot.
That Hobby can tell you about. And yeah, with that,
I look at Viv, expecting her to say something first.
Yes. Eleonora Renerick, thank you for trusting us and occasionally putting aside any faction frustrations to help work in the benefit of those people and the Arcspire. I'm very proud to call you my allies.
Oh, well, that's very kind. You don't need to be so dramatic. It was just a good, you know, shared collaboration between us, and all the people survived, so that's very, very good. And the Aratu is healed, which is good as well. They'll be happy.
Specifically. You did wonderful out there with the first aid and making sure nobody got hurt. That would have been a terrible damage to our ability to help everyone.
I mean, I did my best, I suppose, but
Renner would say, indeed, as eventful as this all was, I appreciate having the three of you cover my back, and I hope I didn't disappoint myself.
Not at all.
oh no, you did admirably, of course. If not for your influence, I think they might not have been so kind to us. You know,
Truly.
very good research that was. I think I've learned a lot actually.
I do hope we, Cass and I, could help break down some of the prejudices towards the Reclaimers as far as Clades go. I know that we don't have the best history among the other two.
I'll confess I didn't do a great job, particularly when I temporarily lost my mind. The stigmatic, sometimes, at least with me.
Yes, well, that's yes, indeed. Do you think maybe we could discuss that a little bit? By the way,
I would be happy.
whenever you're free, of course.
Yes, after this, when we get back, after we debrief, I would be happy to speak with you in more private locations. With regards to the effects of the stigmata, you do strike me as someone who's researching that.
I am indeed.
I'm so happy for you. Would you like me to make any snacks for the occasion?
No,
will you be coming
that'll
over to the
that'll be
Reclaimers
just fine.
later?
No.
So are you thinking it would be a sort of an afternoon get together?
Perhaps we should just call this off and
No, I would.
Oh no, I don't want to intrude. I know I'm a little too
You're
overeager.
never
I'm
intruding.
so
join.
excited to see Cass
Just
making
three.
friends.
keep going.
Renner would laugh at that. Well, regardless, Cass, you've been a stalwart ally. Thank you.
You as well.
yeah. When you return,
No way I strike people, but you stuck with me through the end, and that is something to be said for your endurance and capacity for understanding.
Now, Pat, you gotta be somewhere in 20 minutes, so I want to move this along. Out in the world, Saluk
Yeah.
defended a trade mission to Roost from the Arc Shadow and gained 5 influence for the Guardians.
Hell's Shadow.
The Arc Shadow is the farmlands all around that you walked
Okay.
out through. So one callback. For
If I may.
for the gaudy symbol that now hangs over the town of Pyre, although there is mixed reception of it, 5 influence for the Reclaimers. For keeping things, for managing to keep his word as an Arcanist and growing a valuable relationship with a foreign faction on the basis of his word as an Arcanist, Renric secures a nice 10 faction influence. Eleonora, for helping forward a better world for everyone, and keeping the lands safe and averting conflict, the Guardians gain 5 influence.
Hoot.
And when all that is said and done, your degrade point goes up to 40 because you're still in the back. Yes, Pat.
I think my final words after all the prompted extolling of the virtues of working together.
Mm-hmm.
I think when we finally get a chance to be just the two of us alone, I turn to Viv and I say, I did good, right?
You did wonderfully. That is exactly how I hoped this would end.
All right. And with that, wow, at 9:11 p.m., our first Arcspire adventure is over. The Arcspire will return next week. It's an awesome time. I've had so much fun. A lot has happened. A lot has changed in the world. And we're going to do a feedback phase that just focuses on a swift feedback phase where Pat will go first. That focuses on any ruminations that you have on the premise, on the way that you affect the world. So tell me your favorite part of it, and then tell me how you feel about the setup now that you've gone through an adventure, now that you've experienced faction influence, now that you've experienced the map, now that you've made a change, now that you've made a Charnel Heart decision. Just, give me the whole arc 411. So, Pat, start with your favorite part, and then your 411.
Thank you. First, before I do that, just a casual reminder to you and the audience. Tonight, I'm going to be appearing on Level 1 Geek in actually about 20 minutes. Less than.
Yeah, I mean, it's like 18 minutes. I'm going to stay live and talk about water. Yeah, and then raid you.
Exactly. We're going to stay live and talk about water until that happens, and then we'll raid them. We'll raid Level 1 Geek, where you'll see me again in a different attire, doing different things. But just a casual reminder, we're sticking through to the end, because it's going to be radical. Okay, so my favorite thing about this, wow, this was fantastic. Honestly, everything about this fulfilled every single promise you made, both public and to us as players. Just phenomenal. Everything that could have gone right did, and everything that could have gone wrong didn't happen. You just did a fantastic job, and I've been loving every single second of it. So that's my feedback on the first adventure. I can't wait for the second adventure. I don't even want to change my character, honestly. I think we mentioned very briefly early on that I would switch characters between sessions so that I could get fun times bad ended. But I'm loving this. I'm loving my character. I'm loving everything about this. This is a very fun campaign, and you've done a marvelous job. And the World Without Numbers system, is absolutely excellent for it. And I'm very happy to our sponsors, Fool's Moon, for having even made this happen in the first place. Because this is just a fucking good time. I'm having so much fun. So that's my overall feedback for the adventure. Honestly, all the plot points were just beautiful. I have no negative feedback to give you. I don't know if this is going to be conducive to building a better adventure in the future, but just, you did it right. You did it great. You did it marvelously. Do it again, would be my feedback. And what I want to see more of the future, everything you did here, this past 5 episodes, has been phenomenal. You had a strong start, a gripping middle part, and a cohesive conclusion that brought together all the different parts that we picked up earlier on and brought it to a marvelous and kind of unique and in a non-cliched sort of way conclusion, which is kind of miraculous given the fact that we live in the fucking 21st or 22nd century or whatever it is, and everything that could be done has been done. So the fact that you made this somehow kind of unique is in fact in and of itself somewhat awe-inspiring. So just marvelous job. I have nothing but praise for you. This is probably not great feedback material.
Yeah,
you
no,
did good.
We're good. I appreciate. I think moving right to left. Actually, Rainbow, are you doing something right now, or
I mean, I'm making a meme, but I can
see you in
talk.
15 minutes on level
all right.
1.
Well, no, we can swing around
See
to
you in a bit,
Javi.
Pat.
Javi,
I mean, sure. Yeah.
Javi, hit me with your feedback phase.
I also had a ton of fun. I say that I still, like I've said before, I really enjoy the dynamics of having multiple factions and having that conflict come up in unpredictable ways. I also really enjoy the world building premise of having these different like mini realms dotting the landscape, because it's just so much fun to have you describe it and to find out, okay, what's next, because each place is by definition pretty unique, and so it's made for a really good time.
Yeah, awesome. And in terms of the 411, like, so you like overall, like the mission format, the Charnel Hearts and stuff, like that was that served the purpose well.
Yeah, I would say so. And just and it kind of follows the previous two, is that it ties together you have to make a decision of how you approach it, and it ties into the world itself nicely, so it gives you a reason to explore everything.
Yeah. And with that, I think it is a goop back turn.
So, I made like one or two notes. Things I liked this session was it was fun combat. I love the idea that I can actually use the mirror to do stuff at risk to my soul and or general cohesiveness. But even if I'm swordless and magicless, I can still poke somebody, and I'm very curious about that. But overall, as far as the setting and setup, I think it's really cool. I think I really love, especially the fact that the world seems to have actors in it, and it has like tie-ins between Stillwater and the Infra Rush, and I love that there's villains that are just kind of, or at least, factors that are completely unexplained. Like there's a lot of media, especially nowadays, is like, here's a thing, and if you want to look at it for longer than 10 minutes, we have to give you a backstory. And this has sort of like inklings of it, as hints at things, and I like that. And the last thing, I'm not sure if it's intentional, but something I think should be thought about is, while the consequences of each different soul being put in the Charnel Heart is very important, it's also a little hard sometimes to tell what it will do. And if that's an intentional piece of it, that works. But at the same time, I had a lot of thought about what one might do, and I feel like if I don't have any real basis, that might limit the ability to make a cohesive decision.
Yeah.
But I think we had I could use a little more, but I do think we had some especially for the Bountiful Soul, we had some good information.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then for sure. And then I think we're back around to Rainbow, right?
Yeah. It's a little difficult for me to say, considering I did miss a session, which is unfortunate. I think overall, I kind of like. I enjoyed that this was very like, it was very like a interpolitical like conflict sort of thing with lots of like human intrigue in it, you know, which I liked, but I also thought it kind of. I was I just was expecting you to kind of more dive into like the weirdness of the world on the first sort of like the first adventure, right? Because it's like like people's introduction to the world. So I thought you were gonna like kind of go more into like the weird parts of the universe kind of thing.
You did kind of miss the weird episode.
Did I? Okay.
I mean, well, actually, Goop and Javi, you were there. What do you think? Is that fair to say about last episode?
There was some weird shit that happened in the episode you missed. Sorry, Rainbow. That we did fight a giant goo god thing, and I
see.
talked
Okay.
to it.
Kind of,
And
yeah.
deposited
But overall,
it.
you're right. The climax, I was fixated on how cool it was going to be when, like, you thought you were talking to Galvan, but then Galvan walks in. I don't think I pulled that off great, but yeah. I see what you're saying.
Yeah, like
This is the tone setter, so you're expecting more tone to get set.
a little bit, but I don't think you did like poorly on it. You know what I mean? Like I am also interested in the different like human like intrigues that exist in this world, right? So I wasn't like upset by it. I was just like surprised that's the direction you went. You know?
Yeah.
Always use more freaky things.
Just because the way, just kind of like the way you pitched it, almost. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I did emphasize the weird.
yeah, so that was the only thing I was like surprised about. Besides that, yeah, I think everything went really well. I like that it seemed to me that pretty much everything in terms of like asset wise and stuff was like done before like the first session even started. Like,
Yeah, no,
you know what I mean by that?
Like I did touch up and add extra stuff before one session, but literally nothing you saw or fought or anything like that in this session was done today. It was all done before the first adventure.
Yes, yeah, that's good. Keep doing that. I don't think I have much else to say past that, to be honest.
The 411 on the whole, like the premise of like you have a faction, it has influence, the chat influences it, blah blah blah. You go to the Charnel Heart, you destroy it,
yeah,
you
I think it
heal
went well.
Yeah, it worked out.
I think it would have been nice to see more. See, I think I also missed this. It would have been nice to see more Stigmata stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I think I may have also missed that last time. It seems like Cass had some sort of Stigmata thing happen.
So like, yeah, it was hard to balance because you guys have such low fucking HP that I kind of lowballed it on the threats, and then you didn't get into too many fights because I didn't want to waste time on too many fights. But yeah, no, you're right. We didn't get into enough of it, and we're going to see more of it in future episodes.
Yeah, so that's what I want to see in the future.
Nice.
I will say for my part, I've been trying to keep my admittedly like really low system strain down, just to have something secret in the bag, something to reveal for later.
I mean, I literally didn't take system strain the whole time.
Oh wow, yeah.
So
we stand Strainless Queen, but yeah, no, I'm gonna do more to ensure that like the whole group gets system strain. And I was getting more unskippable, like unavoidable system strain to hit you guys, and there were various points where I'm like, oh, they're stomping everything, and oh, they're gonna get slaughtered. And after this adventure, you guys are level 2, and I think it's gonna be a lot easier for me to fuck around once you're level 2.
Sure.
Yeah, that's also something that I'd like to see more of. We'll just make a note of that.
Yeah. But yeah, I think that's the setup. That's the getup. Thank you all for coming out. We do have to fill another 6 minutes of airtime. So, are you ready for our first ever segment of Hydro Homies, where we review water? Because I am. I'm gonna go get some water in my golden mule. Thank you all for coming out.
I'm making a meme right now.
So making a meme? Excellent. Yeah.
You can appreciate my.
I cannot wait to see this meme.
I'll be right back down. Check the Arcspire. Don't forget to join our Discord. Check out we have our whole Arcspire channel. I send commands here. Yeah, Madeline, it was crazy that I was like all ready for it before the first. It's because I prepped for like a 4-hour session, and then before 2, and it was sort of like, a lamp oil situation where I wound up with enough to make it the whole way.
Hell yeah.
I'll be right back.
I love lamp oil. Sure would love to need to use it sometime.
Alright. Well, if that's it for today, I think I'll head off.
Take care, Javi.
Yeah.
Have a good one.
See you next week. Yeah, Rainbow, I am desperate for that meme. I have no idea what you're...
Like,
There's so
it's-
many memeable moments. I was
It's not
thinking-
really. It's not really a moment. It's more just like an overarching concept.
Cannot wait to see it. Cannot wait to see it. I'm thinking of making a meme that says like "Know your goo," and it's like set up in like a wartime propaganda poster style. It has like red, acid, silver. No, it'd be red, acid, black, oil, silver. No idea what's going on with that.
Alright, gamers, I'm back.
Welcome back.
I'm almost done. I'm very close to being done, Lee.
Javi headed out while you were away.
Oh, good. I'm gonna transition us to
Alright, here we go. Where's the Xpire channel? Let me go post it.
You can hit you can get a copy of the link post and put that in the Twitch chat. Like copy link to post or copy link to.
I'll just post
image.
it. I'll post it in Discord so people have a reason to join this.
Hell yeah! Join the Discord. It's good for the memes. Join the Discord for the memes.
Hashtag in shows only. Hashtag Xpire. Is that what you like me to post?
Arcspire, yeah.
Alright, cool.
Yeah, and now the Leland is up. Yeah, so should close out my Shadow Leland Jujutsu. He'll never understand my pain. Oh my god. That is fucking beautiful. Rainbow. Oh my god. Plus influence
I'm gonna do one where it's the opposite, but it's system strain because you have +0 system strain. You'll never understand my pain.
Yeah,
Fucking-
even though you guys want it.
Join the fucking Discord for this. Like, you gotta come out and get these fresh hot memes. Rainbow, she just pulled her steaming hot buns out the oven.
They're good memes. They're good memes, folks. Check them out.
Honest memes, no less. God bless.
Hell yeah. It's honest work.
And I'm drinking some fine water right now, by the way, out of my Golden Mule. It's got some nice ice in it. It's got crushed ice in it because now our ice maker was really slow, and then we tried to fix it, and now it only makes crushed ice. But that's all right. I don't mind crushed ice. And
That is really weird.
I'm
but
drinking some Brita
I love
filtered
it.
water, but because the Maryland water I use is so bad, the filter actually doesn't really take out all of the metallic taste. So sometimes I use water bottles. But me, I'm just rocking it raw this time. Minerally enriched.
Unlucky.
Grab the spirit. What have you just shared in here? But yeah, we're all having a lovely time out here, and within the next like 3 minutes, Level 1 Geek is going to go live, and Pat's going to be on it because she is tireless and boundless her energy, and several other lisses. But yeah, all that being said and done, I think that this is some delicious water. And Goop, are you drinking any water right now?
Yes, I drink water out of a Coke can because I like the aluminum.
Oh, nice. How does it feel?
It feels colder than like water in a glass because it's aluminum.
Yeah, and how does it taste? Is there any Coke flavor left? How did you wash it out?
Like the first time you do it, there's like a little bit of Coke, but I consider that like a treat, like flavored water. I don't like let it sit for like a long time. I like finish a Coke and then like put water in it. And I don't like reuse it for more than like 2 or 3 times. So
I see.
Hmm.
Now,
do you
Rainbow,
mean,
did you have any thoughts on that?
I'm living my best life. Shut up. My Coke canned water is delicious. Come on, share your water story. What's your water story, Rainbow? Come on.
I
Come on,
mean,
you can't throw stones.
I'm as simple as they come. I'm just drinking tap water. Like,
Out of the tap, do you use a cup?
yes. I mean,
Is it a wooden
yes.
cup? Is it a clay
cup.
cup? What kind of cup? Come on.
Give us the receptacle.
What? Right now I'm using a plastic cup.
Plastic cup. Does that PCP taste good? Do those bleachable chemicals taste delicious?
Damn!
Aluminum.
They in
Aluminum
fact
doesn't
do.
have these problems. Aluminum is safe.
Damn, came for that woman's whole.
But your water is impure.
It's tap water. You drink tap water. I drink tap water. What is?
No, it's impure because it's been tainted by Coke.
Well, like, yeah, and then I drank out of it, and then I got more water, and now it's clean.
No, it's been tainted though.
Have you put anything other than water in the cup you're drinking out of? Do you not like Coke? Is that what this is? Do you just not like Coke? Because like that's valid. I like Coke, but
I don't like pop. Period.
Rainbow is a hydro homie ride or die. The only thing she does is put sometimes flavored powders in.
Yeah, like Crystal Light or something like that.
it's incredible that you're like, I like water, and then you put things in that water and messed up.
Man, that's crazy. Like and subscribe to share the word. By the way, Level 1 Geek is live. Thank you, you two, for holding out with me here for a little bit. I'm gonna raid Level 1 Geek unless we want to have any. I mean, they're on the stream starting screen. If you guys have anything else that you want to say about water, I'm enjoying mine. Water is scary in Barotron.
Eleonora's opinion on water? Does she drink water? Does she drink pop? I feel like Eleonora would drink a lot of fruit juices.
Yeah,
Like
I could see that. I could see
She's
that.
like, orange juice, apple juice, grape juice.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I
Probably
na-
like weird fruits.
I now need fan art of her like drinking like a juice box, but it's like it's like a strain. It's like an Impliwat juice box from Change Stars, just like across all the streams. But she's also like,
It's like a.
yeah. But she's also.
Here's what I have to say about
water.
Waterly.
what the? Oh god! Oh, the ASMR. Did you put your microphone in the water? Like, what did you do?
She just fucking stunted on us. That's crazy.
Get poor
I took
idiots.
psychic damage from
Someone
that. I took
clip
psychic
that.
damage.
Someone clip that. That healed me. That healed me. It restored my psyche.
Get poured on.
I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna go clip this and post it places because there's no context for this. You don't get context for what the hell that was.
You really don't, yeah.
I don't know how to clip things, but someone will.
We'll figure it out. I'm gonna go raid our friends at Level 1 Geek. Thank you all for coming out, and
Thanks for coming.
Look forward to another
See you
episode
next
of
week.
Hydro Homies in the future, but also next week 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern. You already know we're gonna be on our next Arcspire jaunt. So come out, hop in the raid. And I'm gonna pull the trigger in just a secunda here. Alright, I'm hitting raid now.